Welcome to our show or our channel. Eh?
Hey, the first lady. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
it's
I'm
only a pleasure.
honored.
You are honored.
I'm honored. I'm honored.
Yeah. No, thank you for coming through. Thank you very much for coming through. Do you want to give us just a brief introduction of who are you and what you do? You know, something along those lines.
Okay. As you said, my name is Nthabeleng. Start if the viewers want to see what I do, they can go to my page. They can just search Nthabeleng Staat. So what I do is I work with teenagers. Basically, I started with girls, but now I've included boys because there are a lot of NGOs that are working with girls. So it's like we forget boys. So I started with boys, and then I give them toiletries and I motivate them and I give them sessions to motivate them and teach them about self-love and things like that.
Uh-huh. And what's the name of your organization again?
It's called Authentic Givers.
Authentic Givers. And
Yes.
tell me, I mean, you good, you have your own profession, you working. Why did you start all of this? Like what was the main aim? What was the goal here?
Well, I started working in 2015 at a school, and I started realizing patterns of girls being very mischievous, and I didn't want to judge. So I got close to some of them, and then I started asking them personal questions. So I realized that they have these patterns and behaviors because they don't know how to deal with poverty that they're facing in their lives. So I started asking them a few questions about themselves and where they live and who they live with and things like that. So I realized that they have a lot of needs. So they end up dating older guys and things like that. Some of them fall pregnant and don't come back to school. So I realized that that's a gap that I can fill by providing them with things that they need. Because I realized again that they start dating older men because they are in need of things. I realized as well that there are two stories to that. Because there are men that lure these girls into relationships because they realize that I can offer her this and that because these girls are too young to think, they just fall into it. So I realized that I can actually fill in the gap and give them what they need so that they stop these mischievous behaviors. And finally, I can get to them and make them realize that they have a really great potential to be great people in this world.
And what are these needs, just to name a few, that causes that you have seen being the cause of them moving off track as far as life is concerned?
Well, it's a lot of needs. I work with toiletries, but the more I get close to these girls, the more I realize that they need a lot. Yes, I work with toiletries, but they also need food. They also lack food because I unfortunately faced a situation whereby one of my girls came to me this other day and she told me that ma'am, I didn't eat during break, and they took my plate, and I couldn't be fed because yesterday I didn't eat last night, and in the morning, and she was crying, and in the morning I didn't even eat. So now that they took my plate, I'm still hungry. So I realized that it's just more. It's more than toiletries. So that's just like the line that I'm looking at. I think I'm gonna, yes, solidify this toiletry, giving out of toiletries, but I'm gonna get to a point whereby I help them with food.
Is there like
Hopefully.
some sort of criteria that you use to know, okay, this person qualifies or this young girl qualifies for toiletries or not? Is there some criteria you use? Because I can imagine you work with different young people who come from different classes at home. So is there criteria you use to define? if it's someone you want to help, or if they have well enough from home?
Fortunately enough, at schools we have a committee that has to identify all the kids who are orphans, who are from child-headed families, and things like that. So that committee helps me a lot. I can identify those kids from there.
And are you mainly focused on one school, or are you looking to expand this into other schools as well?
I'm looking to expand. Honestly, I'm looking to expand, and very soon I'm going to help
There
another
is,
school. I just don't want to disclose the name of the school, but very soon, yes, I'm working on that.
and then you mentioned something. You said it started as toiletries to help young girls, but it is you have further seen that even the boys they need help as well. What, where did you see the need as far as the boys are concerned?
Well, I realized that there are boys that live alone.
Yeah,
There are boys at our school that live alone, and I can imagine how much they struggle to get everything that they need monthly when they live alone. I mean, they have to come to school, they don't work, they don't have any source of income or whatsoever. And there's a whole lot of things that we normally don't talk about. We know that
yeah.
there's grant, but we know that in our families there are a lot of problems. It might be that sometimes the child isn't even getting the money from the grant because of family issues. Somebody
Yeah.
has the money, somebody's not giving them the money, and things like that. Because that could be a question that arises, that what about the grant? Why isn't that child getting grant, or something like that? But those are other issues that will be dealt with as well.
No, awesome. And I'm just curious here. Are there any learners who come from these tough conditions, but who are managing to excel as far as schoolwork is concerned?
Of course, there are kids, of course, that are naturally clever, but they get very frustrated with the life situations that are going on in their lives. Some of them, I pick them up in that instance. They start becoming very mischievous because of this anger and frustration that they have within them. And I see that they start dropping on their marks, and then I see that there's a problem. When I engage with them, I then get what the problem comes from.
And with you helping them with the basic needs they need, I just hear that there's a lot of mental damage that's already done to these young people. And is there something in place on your side that you do to try and fix that mental aspect as far as the psychology is concerned?
Yes, in fact, this coming September, I was scheduling a camp for the boys and the girls. And on that camp, a team of psychologists, life coaches, and stuff will be there to address the kids and just open up to them and talk to them and try to help them with the things that they might have been going through.
No, awesome. That's that's fantastic. And what age group are you mainly focused on at this moment? Or do you have any age group that you're targeting, or which kids are you targeting age-wise?
Mainly, I target the kids that are from grade 8, because I believe from grade 8, a child is very confused. They're still young. They are, when it comes to survival, they don't understand. They make a lot of mistakes, as opposed to a person who's grown and they matured. But however, I do have a couple who are uh, 18, 17, because right now I've got 28 girls and 6 boys.
Yeah, that's a lot, eh? That's
Yes.
actually a lot. I mean, from my point, I always say if you can help one person achieve, then you have succeeded in life, right? And tell me, when did you start with this project?
I started 2018 March, but I started with one girl.
Yeah.
I started with
And
one girl, and the aim was to just give sanitary towels. That was the aim. But
yeah.
going into it, I realized that if a child needs sanitary towels, it probably means that they need the whole package. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm giving the whole package. Yes.
Mm. And quick question: how do you get all the funding needed to do all of this? Because it sounds like it's a massive project. I mean, you're dealing with, how can I say this? Disposable goods. I mean, they're not. It's not a once-off thing. You need toiletries. You need help. The mental help or whatever it is throughout the course of life. How do you keep on maintaining the funds as far as ensuring that there's enough money to run this project?
Well, to be honest, I knock on every door that I can knock on. On every
Yeah,
door I knock, I run, I am everywhere asking people to help me. And luckily enough, I met a very wonderful woman when I started. And
yeah,
through social media, of course, I was crying out and saying, people, I need help because there's this situation at my school. So luckily, the woman works at West Bank. So West Bank has just been great. They've been wonderful because they just started the initiative of giving 80 kids shoes at our school
yeah.
just now before we closed the school. Yeah, so they're also giving us toiletries as well for the year as well. And there's also another brand called Diabella as well. They're also supporting us with the sanitary towels. Yes, apart from that, it's individuals that just help so much. They're giving out money, their own money from their own pocket every month. Can you believe it? And then I go buy the toiletries.
And are you doing all of this alone as far as the actual physical labor of repacking all of these toiletries to dish them out? Are you, or is there a team of people you're working with as far as doing the actual physical work with these students or with these projects?
Well, of course, I've got a couple of friends. I also have family as well, but they come in where they can. When they can help, they do come in and they do, of course, help me a lot. Hmm.
Uh-huh. And how do people get in contact with you? I mean, if they wanna sponsor or if they wanna have a word or two with you, how do they approach you?
Well, they can get me on Facebook, Nthabeleng Staat. My surname Staat. And then they can also get me on my email address. It's nlstat7@gmail.com. And then they can also call me on 060-466-8574.
All right, now, awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me something. What are the success stories from the project that you've been running as far as helping the young ones with their basic needs? Well, what are the success stories? Is there one student that you are so happy that they were able to reach a milestone because you managed to give them a push? Are we seeing results of what you put in?
Yes. In fact, one of the girls is the head girl at our school. So
Yeah,
I'm very happy,
yeah,
very happy, and she's excelling in her work because I teach her life science as well. So she's
yeah,
excelling in her work. That's number one. Because last
yeah.
year she wasn't coping. I don't want to lie. She wasn't coping. Her marks were not as I know them to be. So yeah, she's coming along very well, and she's the head girl, by the way. Wow.
You sound very happy. That's good
I'm
news. I mean,
happy. I'm happy. Yes. Yes.
that's good news because you want to see where all of this is going. Because we know
Yes.
some students they take advantage of someone's help, but when you see that this is
Yes.
actually helping out,
Okay.
and then
Hmm.
it becomes worth it. It becomes really, really worth
Yes.
it. Well,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
awesome, and hopefully the boys can do the same as well. Because I know you guys have been struggling with the boys as far as soon as they get old and stuff like that. But hopefully they will get there. Hopefully they will get
Yes.
there. And another question that I want to ask you is, with like you said, because of basic needs being a necessity, some students end up making plans as to how they're gonna get that done. Maybe by dating someone who's older or something like that. So how are you also involved in helping the young ones as far as how to manage the romantic relationships and stuff like that, so that it does not get in the way of them achieving success?
Yes, I do. I engage with the learners a lot. I don't want to lie. Individually, they feel very free to come and talk to me and ask me for advice when it comes to
Yeah.
their lives. Yeah, in everything, in every aspect of their lives, they do come to me and they do ask for my advice and my help as well. It's not just
That's
the
awesome.
toiletries. We've
Yeah.
developed a relationship. Yeah.
All right, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. I think from my side, that will be it. And I don't know if you have any questions, anything that you want to share before we wrap up.
No, I am good. I'm good. I am good. I hope you also good. I'm good, yes. But what I wanted to say is that I hope to expand. I hope to expand a lot. I don't want to lie. I hope to be able to help our country when it is facing a crisis. I want to be one of the people who is giving out things when our country is facing a crisis. Because I've been limiting myself. I've been helping people that are close to me, but I find myself in a situation whereby when our country is going through a crisis, I just
Yeah.
feel as if I could do something, but I want to expand. This is just a learning curve for me that I need to grow bigger so that when things like this happen, I know that I can be out there and help people as much as I can.
No, awesome, awesome. Thank you very much as
Okay.
well for the work you're doing for our people out there, and thank you very much for joining me and coming through to our channel to share some knowledge. And I really appreciate taking your time off for this. And hopefully, maybe we talk again. When you have done more things out there, and hopefully a lot of people they start contacting you and hope to see you soon. You know,
That 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 feels like a challenge. To see you when you have done a lot, it feels like a challenge, and I'm up for it.
oh,
Challenge
you're up for it.
accepted.
Oh,
Challenge
woo.
accepted.
Eh, flower power,
Thank
right?
you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, now thank you very much. Now, to our viewers, like, share the contact, and please keep in touch with Sis over here, and let's see